everyone! So today I am building in Glimmerbrook for a change. I haven't built here in a little while and I am building a tiny home. I think it works out as like 96 tiles, so it's the highest tier of a tiny home, but it's still a tiny home. And I am building in my kind of preferred style, I guess my comfort zone style, of this kind of fantasy medieval inspired off the grid style. And it's inspired by a couple of different Minecraft images that I've seen. One of which has like this big clock tower on it that I really liked, so I wanted to try and build something like that in The Sims. So this is kind of what I came up with. It's quite a short video for a change. I think probably because it's a tiny home, because it's so small, it didn't actually take me that long. Usually they take me quite a while. My builds usually take me days, so the fact that I managed to get this one done in a couple hours, I'm actually really surprised, but I am pleased because I didn't actually think I was going to be able to get a video out this week. So yeah, I hope that you all like it. So it is a 2-bedroom home. Like I said, it's off the grid. There is a double bedroom and a single bedroom. I didn't try and limit my packs in this one, so it uses, some random things from different packs that probably aren't necessary, but I liked the look of them, the different wood tones that they had, so that's why I've used things like there's a bed that I've used from Island Living, and then I think there's a rug that I've used that's not actually a rug. It's from Get Famous. It looks a little bit like a crack in the floor, but it's in the rug category and I really like it, so I've used that. But I think those are like the only items from those packs I've used. Mostly I think I've used Get Together, just because how can I not do a fantasy medieval style home and not use Get Together, because it's kind of built for that, I think, in a way. So yeah, this one I've added a couple of different skill building items to it, since it didn't really have a strong focus to it. So for example, it's not built for like a scientist, it's not built for a gardener, it's just a standard 2-bedroom house. So I've included a couple of gardening things. I think I've used an art easel and the woodworking table, and there are a couple of other things. I think the knitting bag and maybe the is it like a crochet box? I've included that as well. I was trying to think of what would be appropriate for the kind of time period, and obviously I didn't want to include any electrical items since it's off the grid, so I've used a couple of base game things for the kitchen. I think the sink is from Outdoor Retreat, and then the entire bathroom is made up mostly of vampires, just because I like it, and the whole bathroom set is off the grid and it all matches, which we don't really have any other matching sets that are off the grid, so I tend to always use the vampires ones. The same with the rugs. This rug and the one that I put by the front door also, I think, from vampires. I might be wrong, but yeah, I think I am. I think they're from Get Famous. But to be honest, I like them because they've got that kind of worn look to them, and it's another thing that we don't really have very much of, so I tend to overuse the same items quite a lot. I didn't want to put a like a stove hood or an extractor fan, whichever you call them, in this, because I didn't really think that was right, so it looks a little bit strange to me, the fact that there isn't one. To be honest, I think I probably would have put like a big fireplace in instead of the stove. I mean, that would make more sense, but then they wouldn't be able to cook anything. So I went with this one, and I quite like the way that the kitchen turned out, actually. Like I said, it's a small home, it's quite squishy but I like squishy. As for the lighting, I tried to go with quite dim lighting. I put in those giant saucers right in the beginning, just so that I was able to see what I was doing and make sure like the wood tones matched and everything. Some of them are slightly off since I've used them from different packs, but most of them I think I've done pretty well with. I've used a couple bits and pieces from the courtyard oasis kit, like these windows, the one in the bathroom, and I think I've used them on the roofing on like the front peak, and then the stair railing and the fence I've used on the stairs too are all from the same kit. I quite like the fact that they match the base game archway that I've used on the little kind of walkthrough, so I wanted to use those, and I haven't really used them in any builds that aren't kind of Moroccan themed or focused, so I quite enjoyed using them in different kinds of builds. So I have been trying to build something in Tartosa for, well, probably since the wedding pack came out. Actually, I've been trying to build a castle, like a Tartosan kind of inspired castle, Spanish Mediterranean inspired castle, and I cannot get it right. And I literally have spent so long trying to build it, and you know, I've got certain features in mind that I want to include, like I want to include like a courtyard and some breezeways and some other bits and pieces like that, whilst still making it look like a castle or a palace, but also, you know, not making it look a little bit too French chateau, if that makes sense. And I'm really struggling, so I was really hoping that I would have that one out by now, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but hopefully I will be able to sort that out, because I really want to build it. I've been trying to do more castles, and every time I try and build something, like I can just not get the inspiration right, and I've got Pinterest boards full of images that I don't know if I'm ever going to use because I can never get it right. But I think I'm just, you know, too much of a perfectionist and I'm too hard on myself. Whereas I come to do something like this and it just comes so naturally that I don't really second guess any of the decisions that I make, and it's really irritating. But, you know, that's just a me problem, I guess. So we are almost done with furnishing of the inside of the house actually, and then we go to outside. So originally I wasn't going to do anything in terms of like the landscaping. I didn't want to, you know, overwhelm the whole thing because it's such a tiny build. I didn't want there to be, you know, loads of just, I don't know, loads of landscaping that just didn't make any sense. So I tried to keep it quite closely contained to the like outside of the building. And then when I went to take the screenshots, I realized that there's actually quite a lot of empty space. So you'll see in the screenshots, maybe I don't know if you will be able to see it, but I've tried to put a couple of little like planter areas around in the gaps and put a couple of trees that match in the world around it, just to kind of fill it in. One of the entries to my shell challenge, I posted the tour videos the other day. One of the builds, I think I commented, I don't know whether I included it in the video, but I commented on how well that it was blended into the world around it, and that you couldn't really tell where the lot ended and where the world began. And I really liked it, and so I wanted to do something like that, so that when you're in, you know, you're actually playing the game, you can't tell where the lot ends because there's no harsh line of detail, or there's, you know, no harsh line of terrain paint or anything. So hopefully I've kind of achieved that in this one. That was, you know, an aim of mine with this. So yeah, moving on to some of the landscaping. Like I said, I didn't really do too much of it. I tried to keep it quite simple. I did actually use quite a lot of different flowers. I tried to keep them all from the base game, and then there's 2 different flower types I think I've used from Cottage Living, but we don't have any base game alternatives to these flowers, so I thought it was alright to use it. And I've already used Cottage Living items in the pack, in the build anyway, so it's these little kind of yellow daisy things and the roses that I thought I needed something that was just a slightly different color. And I do really like these flowers, so I hope that you like them too. So after we add some of this ivy, I mean, it's not really one of my builds unless I add ivy to it, is it? I literally put ivy everywhere. But yeah, once I've done all of the ivy, I think I move on to terrain paint, which I usually go a little bit overboard with. If you see my last build video, I literally spent like an hour just on terrain paint, so the whole time it took me to build this whole lot, I literally spent on just painting the floor in the other one. But you know, I did really enjoy that one. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it's like cheating in a way, because I like didn't really do I didn't really do any in this one, but I just wanted something that, like, I wanted to build something that I didn't really need to worry about too much, or didn't really need to think about too much, because I definitely feel like in a lot of the things that I build, I overthink it, and then I'm not happy with it because I've spent way too long thinking about it instead of just, you know, doing what would, I don't know, come naturally, maybe creatively, and then stress myself out because I'm like, oh no, I haven't got a video which is not, it's meant to be fun, it's not meant to be stressful. So things like this definitely I don't know, remind me that it is meant to be fun and that I'm meant to be enjoying myself whilst I'm doing this. So yeah, I did really enjoy doing this one, and I really hope that you will like it too. The last thing in the video that I do is just kind of mess around with this front entry area. I put a couple of these different broken fences from the base game live edit menu, and then move some of these last bits of landscaping that I've already used. So yeah, I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.
I don't know about tomorrow, but I have something for today. I can't be caring for others, not just living for myself. If I stop just for a moment, I won't lose this morning sun. If I'll try just to look forward, I will see the morning dawn. I will see the